Where you burn the relationship is if you set the wrong expectations and you're like, it's amazing, it's perfect, it's out, it's pre-release, and then people are like, it's full of typos. So Ben's question is about kind of how to balance. I want early feedback, but I also want it as polished as possible. You can do both things. Like the division here isn't as stark as it might first appear because so much of the final stage of a book, it's a type of polishing that doesn't actually change the usefulness of the information. So if you've got a placeholder, like placeholder diagrams or placeholder frameworks, or you want to add more case studies, or you want, like, so often it's this stuff that gets pushed to the end of the writing process. From this question, it sounds like the core content's pretty good. You know, you describe it as 70% complete, you describe it as like already valuable for people. I would basically just change how you frame it to them. So I'd be like, if you're like, my book is ready, it's ready for you to read, then that sets a certain expectation about polish. And then people go like, oh, there's typos, or oh, this is a placeholder framework, or oh, there's like a to-do in here or whatever. That creates a disconnect. If you're like, hey, I'm working on it, there's a bunch of useful stuff, I know it's relevant to you. If you're so excited about it, you want to get in early and check it out before it's ready, and in return, you're willing to give me some feedback, like, great. You don't burn a lead or a business relationship because the book is still in progress, so long as it has been presented as a book that is still in progress. The place where I would consider not releasing it as early. So if you've already got good feedback from coaching, teaching, consulting, right? And if you would find the engagement with early readers highly distracting. I'm going through this a little bit now with pre-launch marketing. I'm like doing my beta reading, my drafting. I'm on like a good groove, but I'm like, oh, like it would be optimal. I should be doing some YouTube videos. I should be doing some marketing, and all that's true. It's just like that's one more thing to distract me. And now there's been a couple days where I haven't gotten my writing done because there's just more stuff on my mind. You know, there's like guilt creeping into my writing process because I've taken on these marketing obligations. And now it's had the effect of slowing down my writing, which is a bit like, you know, shooting myself in the foot. Either way is fine for the book. Either way is fine for the process. It's just like, you know, do you have the mental bandwidth to be juggling both things? If so, your book will probably benefit from more feedback. One final thought here, if you're in particular nervous about how it might be perceived, is make it intentionally look like a draft. I do this sometimes where like, if I'm not sure about a framework, I like intentionally draw it kind of ugly and sketchy. You can make these little signals that like this is a draft, right? And then people perceive it that way. It's easy to catch typos these days. Like the AI stuff is great for it, but there's still ways to like to signpost. It's like, hey, this is a work in progress. I value your help. So, you know, if you can put some of that stuff in there, for me at least, it makes me feel more comfortable sharing early versions if they feel like an early version, right? Because then I know people are going to be reading them in that mindset. And then the last thing you can do is choose who you share it with first. You don't necessarily need to share it with nobody or everybody. You can pick like 5 people, you know, and be like, I think you're doing something this would be relevant for, or like, you've got this experience and I'd really appreciate your feedback on these parts. So, you know, you don't have to just open the floodgates all or nothing. All right. But yeah, good luck with that. Get another.